Hello, and welcome to the Bankers Tech Talk video series, looking at all things fintech. We've been going now for about 6 years, and you can watch all previous episodes on thebanker.com/tech talks. I'm Joy Macknight, editor of The Banker, and joining me this week is Dr. Ali El Kaafarani, who is founder of PQShield, which is a post-quantum cryptography startup. Thanks very much for joining me, Ali.
Thanks for inviting me. Thanks a lot.
So the first question that I have is really, what is the difference between quantum computing and regular computing?
Now, when it comes to quantum computers or quantum computing, it is actually a paradigm shift. So it's a different computing model. It's not a Turing machine anymore. It's a different computing model. It's closer to nature. It stores data in a different way, in a probabilistic way. It could be 0 or 1. We must have heard of superposition and entanglement and interference, and so a lot of different terminologies and concepts when it comes to quantum computing, and therefore they come with a different computational power. Like the way they solve problems is totally different. And therefore, there are some problems that are really difficult to solve on a classical computer, but happen to be very suitable for the way quantum computers work and run algorithms. And that's why you can see the difference that quantum computers can solve particular types of problems a lot faster than classical computers. But it is a paradigm shift. It's totally different. They're not comparable in any way, shape, or form, like the quantum classical computers or quantum computers.
So what threats do banks face from quantum computers?
Right. So quantum computers are a different computing paradigm and are capable of solving particular type of computational problems a lot faster. And it so happens that one of the fundamental pieces, cryptography pieces that we have in our cybersecurity infrastructure is totally broken by a quantum attack that we've known since 1994 on a theoretical level. Like we know the algorithm, but this attack, because it attacks a fundamental part, the impact on any market and any company that does e-commerce is the same, including banks and the financial sector.
Excellent. But how close do you think we are to a real credible quantum attack?
Right. So quantum, let me just explain that. The way quantum attacks work is like retrospectively. So people can harvest data now. And until you have access to such a fully scalable quantum machine, you can then decrypt all the data, the encrypted data that you gathered. And this is the scary part about the quantum attacks. So having explained this, now how close are we to a concrete quantum attack? So there are three angles that you can look at. First, what are the governmental agencies saying about this? So since 2015, 2015, NSA and other intelligence agencies have identified quantum attacks as a real threat and asked standardization bodies to start standardizing an alternative to what we're using. So that's a sign. The other sign is the investments that you're getting into building a quantum computer, a fully scalable one, both in the private sector, the likes of IBM, Google, Honeywell, etc., and governments as well. So now you can imagine this huge amount of investment is going to speed up the engineering effort to build that scalable computer, and it's not going to be infeasible, I believe, to see a concrete quantum attack in the next decade.
Okay, but how can banks, for example, best protect themselves and sensitive information that they have, from such an attack?
Right. So banks in particular have lots of legacy systems, and this is like a bit of a concern that they need to really understand and assess their crypto agility and how fast they can replace the standards that they are relying on nowadays. So this is this is essential to prepare for the adoption of the new standards, and which is nowadays called as crypto agility. And you need to be aware of where you're using crypto and why, and how easy it is to replace it. So they need to do this exercise of understanding where they're using crypto and how easy it is to replace them, and put roadmap for post-quantum cryptography standards. And this is both whether it's the crypto agility, it's something that, for instance, companies like PQShield can help companies assess their crypto and their sensitive data, and how best to protect them and how to prioritize. And also companies doing post-quantum crypto that are involved in the upcoming and in the actual standardization process, like PQShield, we're leading finalists there at the standardization process, can actually help banks understand which of the post-quantum cryptography standards are going to be the best when it comes to the financial sector use case, because there will be multiple post-quantum cryptography standards that come from different math, and it's important to understand which one is more suitable for banks and for the financial sector.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your insights, Ali.
Pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.